So we need to open Management Studio. So I'm just going to drop down here. I have it open already. So I'm going to fire it up. I'm just going to close some windows down. We don't need that one anymore. So we'll click on close on that. And I'm going to minimize my local server connection. Then I'm going to click on connect and I'm going to choose database engine. Now I need to put a server name in here. Now to get the server name, I need to go back to the portal. And if I go to home here, click overview, click on cancel on that. I don't want to change that. Click on overview, click on OK. You can see I've got my server name. So I'm going to just click to copy that. And with that copied, I'm going to go back to Management Studio and I'm going to paste my server name in there. I'm going to change my authentication to SQL Server and I'm going to type in the SQL account I created along with the password. And then I'm going to click on connect. Now I'm expecting to get an error here. Okay, I'm going to get an error saying my IP address doesn't have access to that server. To connect to an Azure SQL Server, we must have a firewall rule allowing our IP address of the system you want to connect from to Azure. Okay, and you can provide a range as well. So what I will do here, I'm going to click on sign in. All right, we can click on sign in and do it here, or you can switch to the Azure portal, which I'm going to do. When you're in the Azure portal, we can open the database or the ToyStore database overview section if it's not already open. And then from the overview pane, we can set our firewall or set server firewall, which you can see is right at the top there. Just get my mouse, there we go, click set server firewall rule or set server firewall rule. I'm going to click on add client IP address, okay, and it will pick up and add my IP address. So it's able to detect that for me and add it. We can rename this rule if we want to. I'm just going to leave it as is for now. I'm quite happy with that. Or if we want to, we can add in a range as well. Now in this case, it's just letting the one IP address through. I'm going to then click on save to save this firewall rule. And it's going to update the firewall rule for the server, and it's told me it's done it. So now I'm going to switch back to Management Studio, and I'm going to try connecting again. Across and click on cancel on there, and then click on connect. My IP address has been added to the firewall rule. It looks like it's going to connect me. We'll just wait for it to connect in. And we should see it appear in Object Explorer once a connection has been established. There we go. Note, it looks slightly different from an on-premises SQL Server. We've got the little blue database there, and the folder structure looks different. We've just got databases and security. Now, we can modify our firewall settings using T-SQL in the master database. So to do that, we can open up a new query window, and we are in master. And then we can run a select. Let's just do a quick select. Firewall rules. Click on execute. Allow all Windows Azure IPs. And then we've got that client IP address that I added in, and there's mine there. You can see when that was added. The Azure All Window Azure IPs firewall is the default firewall which allows resources within Microsoft to access the Azure SQL Server. The rest are going to be user defined, so there's the one there that I added in using the portal. The firewall rules are likely to be different from what you can see on my screen, and there's a couple of stored procedures called SP set firewall rule that you can use to add a new firewall rule, and SP delete firewall rule to delete existing rule. Now also, while we are here, we can run a query against ToyStore database. So I'm going to open up a new query here, and I am just going to do a count against the orders table. So I'm going to do select count star from, and if I wanted to, I could use a column alias in here, but we'll leave it like that for now. Click on execute, runs away and does a query for me, and then we can run the same query that we run in the Azure portal. We can do a select top 10 star from orders, and we'll get the top 10 rows back. Okay, so we've created a ToyStore database. We have queried it from the query editor in the Azure portal, and we have used Management Studio to connect to it too. I guess one of the rules of running your compute in the cloud is to turn things off when you're not using them. Now we've created a database, we've populated with data. What we're going to do now, we're going to delete that database. So to delete an Azure SQL database, an Azure SQL Server, an Azure resource group, what we're going to do, we're going to switch to the portal, which I'm going to do now, and then I'm going to click on home for just a second. I'm going to click on all services, and I'm going to click on all resources. Now, I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here that I've been playing around with previously, including the Toy Factory, the ToyStore that I created earlier on, and the various resource groups that they're in. So from the All Resources pane, I'm going to choose the checkbox next to the Toy Factory. So click on that there, and then I'm going to select delete from the top. I then need to confirm that I actually want to delete this, so I have to type in yes in here. I'm going to click on delete at the bottom of this blade, and that will go away and delete the Toy Factory for us. I can also delete, go to the resource group page here, you can see we've got Toy Store, so I'm going to put a checkbox in there, and then I'm going to click the ellipsis and I'm going to delete the resource group. Type the name of the group, so I've got to try and remember what it was. So I have to type Toy Store in here and then click on delete. And there you have it. We've deleted resources, or we will when I'll get notification saying that the delete has been confirmed, is currently still running.